My name is David Kimuhu and I'm a photographer and videographer in Creatives Kenya, based in Nairobi. As in Creatives, we do photography, videography, graphic design, web design, social media management and events management. And also fashion design. In Creatives is a group of friends who came together last year but one and decided to use our skills to empower ourselves and also the community and the society around us. So we've been doing this for 1 year and so far we've really enjoyed it. In Creatives is a group of 11 friends, and what inspired us to come together is the fact that we have skills that we can use to empower ourselves and also empower the people around us, our friends, our family, and we decided to use the skills that we have to make a change in the society. To make a change in the society. You have seen that there are many people out there with skills but doing nothing about it. We decided to be the change. We are artists within ourselves. Everyone has an art that is doing, and we decided not to do art the usual way, but to redefine art, to do art in a different way. Well, for us, every event that we do, every shoot that we do, we decide to make it about the customer experience. We decide to make it an in Creatives experience. That when you come to in Creatives, it's not just about taking the photos and going away. It's about doing life together. It's about knowing each other. It's about friendship and the moments that we have together. Not just about taking the photos and going away. We decide to take an extra step and do life with you. Know the challenges that you have, the challenges that we have, we share together. I'm a Christian myself. The whole group is about Christianity, and we even share the word with people who come to us. If we are not of the same religion, we do Jesus without borders. That's that we show the love of Christ to anyone. It doesn't matter whether you are a Christian or not. Your religion is yours, but God is the same everywhere. So we decide to share the love of God through the art that we do. Buying the flute does not make you a musician, so buying a professional camera does not make you a professional photographer. It's a notion that when you have a professional camera, you become a professional photographer, but it is more, there's something extra to photography than just having the camera. You can just take a photo and decide to post it and say that you're a photographer, but if you check the photos taken by Ben Kiruthi, taken by people like Nesh Maina, and you'll see a very big difference than a person who just bought a camera and took a photo. There's something extra to a photographer than just having a photo. There's also the part of the viewpoint that you have. There's also the editing and everything. So there's more to photography than just having the camera and just taking photos. Well, there are two guys that really inspire me. There's Nesh Maina, as said, and there's the guy that really introduced me to photography. His name is Steve Njuguna. As in, I just looked at his work. That is 2 years ago, and I was like, I really want to know this guy. I want to do work with this guy. And right now, he's part of the people who formed in Creatives, and he hasn't made it to the big time, but the photos that they take, especially Nesh Maina, as in, they just inspire you too. You see a different perspective of life. You see the moments through the lens, and you really enjoy photography. Those are some of the people that have inspired me to do photography. Nesh Maina, Steve Njuguna, Brian Umaka. They are upcoming, yes, but the works that they do, you can't compare them to other people. Everybody has their own way of photography, but theirs is unique. I'm a student of life. I never went to class. I just picked up the camera one day. I used to admire people who take photos. I used to love the camera. I will just see people taking photos and I'm like, wow, these people are doing something. So back then there was these small cameras with film in them, and when we used to go to field trips in school, those are the cameras that I will pick up and go with them to field trips and just take photos. And so I finished school, and when I started working, I was working somewhere, and I was like, I don't really love the job that I'm doing, but there's something that I know I really love. I used to just borrow a camera from a friend, just go to the bush and take photos of flowers and animals, and I was like, I love photography, and I hear people do make a living from photography, and I decided, well, when I was fired, I decided, let me do photography full time, and yeah, that's how I started going on YouTube, on the internet, learning from friends, and yeah, following instructions, and that's how I became a photographer. I wouldn't go back to working 8 to 5 because while doing photography, I do photography and videography. While doing photography and videography, I have all the time to experiment with anything I want to do. I can just wake up one morning, pick up my camera, take a car and go to wherever I want to go and do whatever I want to do. I do freelance, so I'm not limited to someone giving me instructions on what to do only. I can wake up and decide, today I don't want to do photography, I want to go and open my own business. I will just wake up and open my own business. For me, it's like freedom from being limited to one thing. I say freedom is not just of the body, but also of the mind. While employed, you are just tied to doing this from Monday to Friday, you're just doing the same thing, but while freelance, you're free to do anything you want. So now you understand the essence of freedom. Yeah. Well, I love moments. So mostly I prefer doing weddings and events, mostly events, since you'll just capture the moment. There's no pausing, there's no waiting for someone to do something. You just go with the flow of the moment. Mostly events, you find people jumping, people happy, others angry for being stepped on and everything. While capturing those moments, I really enjoy it when you can get, if someone is laughing, you just get that natural laughter. If someone is jumping, you just get that natural jump. You don't have to fake it. So I prefer moments like, yeah, also family events like burials, graduations and everything. I really love those moments. So yeah. The first challenge is getting equipment. Photography equipment is expensive, and for me, as I just ventured into photography, and you lack the funds to buy equipment, you lack the funds to set up a studio and all that, so it becomes really difficult. For example, if you don't have the equipment and you want to do photography and you have no idea where to begin, so that is one of the challenges. Also, the clients that we work for and we work with, most of them don't really appreciate photographers as they should, because you have made the funds to buy the equipment, then you go and do really good work for a person, and they start arguing about the cost that you have told them, and they don't understand that you have bills to pay. Maybe the equipment that you have bought using loan money, and you really have to repay. So it's a challenge when you do work for someone and they don't really give back the appreciation that you deserve. Yeah, so that's another challenge. Also, there's the challenge of there are people out there with equipment and they do shoddy work, but since they have the equipment and the connection, for you, they'll just be given the jobs. So you're like, if I would have gotten this chance to do this work, I would have done a better work. But because someone is out there, they just bought a professional camera, they go do some bad work, and people get the notion that all photographers do the same work. So some people will give a negative image about photographers. So it becomes a standardized rate that all photographers, if, for example, you have the equipment and you do the job at a low fee, and I have the same equipment and I will do a better job, but since you gave a lower fee than me, I'll have to reduce my fee back to your fee so that I can get the job. Also, there's this notion that photography is just photography. It's just another art that does not pay. So it's really difficult for parents and relatives and friends to support you when doing photography. So they don't give you the support. They're like, you're just like a musician, so it's not an, you are supposed to look for a job, then do photography as a hobby. That's a notion to some people. So those are some of the challenges. People have a belief system about arts, so they don't really appreciate arts. Well, this is a Canon 7D with a 18-135 lens. It's called a kit lens, and it costs around 120,000 to around 150. That's the price that you can get it in the market, and that's second hand. Buying a new camera, it's even more expensive. So while going to the shop, you can just there's also other brands. There's Sony, there's Nikon, and there's such. So it differs with the preferences of a person depending on which photography they do. So just buying a camera does not mean you become a photographer. There are people who go to school and pay really expensive, their hard-earned money goes to classes to become photographers. There are people out there who are training themselves to become photographers, and they really take their time, because you don't just wake up one day, pick up the camera and become a photographer. You live and embarrass yourself and the people who you are working with. So it's an investment. It's an investment. Your time, your money, because some people don't sleep at night while editing. You edit a lot of pictures. You want to give the best to the clients that you have. So it really is an investment of time and money and a person's sweat into photography. Each photographer has their own unique style of how they take photos, how they edit, how they present it to their clients. So depending on what you're looking for, because there are photographers that do studio shots only, like the likes of Boa Art. The only pictures I see of them are studio only. There are other photographers that only do runway. There are other photographers that only do baby shoots. There are other photographers that only do weddings, you see. So depending on what you're looking for and the kind of quality that you're looking for, it usually depends only on the client. The client is the one to decide that I really love the work that David does, so I will go to David. I will go to in creatives. There are people who prefer only studio shots, so I'll go to Boa Art. So depending on what the client is looking for, depending on what you're looking for, that's what will determine the photography you will approach. And also depending on what the photographer gives. If today you are told that in Creatives Kenya have this really nice wedding package with all these extras and everything, you'll go for in Creatives Kenya, depending also on your pocket. There are some photographers that you cannot even approach because of the kind of money that they ask for. So depending on also your pocket, that is what will determine the kind of photographer you look for, the kind of videographer you look for, depending on the quality that you're looking for. So that's why us as in creatives, we strive to give the best to our clients. We strive to do the best to ensure that if I do a job for a client, tomorrow, if he or she was asked, which photographer do I go for, which graphic designer do I go for, they will say in creatives. Why? Because we give the best to our clients. Yeah. Well, I've never understood people having beefs over the industry, but one thing I know about photographers is that we really, if I can't do if I'm called for 2 events in a day, I can't be in 2 places at the same time. So the best I can do is refer a fellow photographer to the client. So I don't believe there's beef in photography, because if I can't do the job, I'll just have to sell it to another person, because I know I cannot do it. So I don't believe there's beef. Also, we as in creatives and also as other photographers, I've seen that we hold Insta meets and events just to sit down and share ideas and everything. So I don't believe there are beefs in photography, or even I've never seen 2 photographers angry at each other because they say we all do the same job, but we do it differently. And if our clients decide to come to in creatives and not go to Boa Art, I don't see where the beef will come in. Yes, you have lost a client, but it's the client's choice. You can't go asking the client why they went to in creatives. They made their decision. So I don't believe there are beefs in photography. Well, as David and also as in creatives, we really appreciate people who are coming up, since we started somewhere from step one. So as a person who is taking step one, we'll try and support you as much as we can, because we are also striving to get to our best, and for us to get to the next step, we need to bring someone to the step where we are. So we do not nurture talent. We do have talks with photographers who are coming up and try and advise them the best way we can. So yeah, we do nurture talent. We hold Insta meets where we call other photographers to come and take photos. We do usiku sako. Mostly usiku sako is just having fun with the clients that are available, our friends, and also other photographers, to share ideas, to encourage each other, to show each other different styles of photography. Well, as I said, in creatives is not based on the money perspective, but on the friendship perspective. We became friends first before even the idea of forming a company came together. Because I remember the first day in creatives was formed, we were coming from a hangout and we were friends, so we decided to take photos at Alliance Francaise on the street using the lights and everything, and we decided, let's call these shoots that we do at night usiku sako. Then we asked ourselves, we have skills, we have the talent, why not make some money out of it? And that is how In Creatives was formed. So we decided that let's not just be friends, let's use the friendship and the skills that we have, bring ourselves together, bring our resources together, and form a company and call it In Creatives Kenya. Well, for every kind of event or shoot that we do, it has different packages depending on the clients, because you can't say the clients are the same. People are different depending on their socioeconomic status and everything. So we place our rates according to the clientele that we have. Also, we have a quotation. If you approach us, we send you our quotation depending on the different packages that we have. We start from bronze to platinum. So depending on the package that you will desire, that's the charges that we will give you. So if you approach us, we give you our quotation, and that's where you get our rates from. Yes. So on Facebook we are In Creatives. On Twitter and Instagram we are at In Creatives KE. Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at In Creatives KE. Then you can email us at info@increatives.co.ke. info@increatives.co.ke, and you can get me on 0734 646 935. 0734 646 935.
Kwa majina naitwa Daniel Kimani, na mimi hufanya sculptures. Maana sculptures ni wanyama ambao tunaunda, ambao hawana uhai lakini wanakaa ni wanyama wenyewe. Watu mbili kulingana na ile mabati tunanunua mabati ikiwa full. Alafu tunaikata in pieces ndogo ndogo. Alafu tunaigonga, tunaichapa hadi tunaicarve saa shape yake. Kisha tunakuja tunaunganisha hizo pieces kama ni kichwa vyenye unavyoiona. Pieces kadhaa imeshikanishwa. Alafu vitu mbili baadaye si kuja tunamchoma ndio aweze kutokea hii rangi. Ukiangalia kwa uzuri na kitu kama madude. Pia hiyo ni moto pia. Unaweza kumchoma kaweze kuwa rough. Akae kama tumbili mwenyewe. Ufundi nimeweza kukawia kwa miaka kadhaa. Juu pia ni kazi ngumu, ina mambo mingi, challenges. Zingine tunakosa mabati, mara stima ndizo hizo. Challenges ninazozipata kama fundi, kunakuwa na shida ya stima. Zingine pia customers pia biashara yetu urudi chini. Lakini kuna wakati wakati wa saa zile tourist wako hapa Kenya, hapo tunakuaga na biashara nzuri kulingana na hizi sculptures. Hii kazi ya sculptures unavyoiona, mimi ni kujifundisha, nimejifundisha kwa muda mfupi kulingana na venye pia nilikuwa napenda hali ya art. Art nilianza nikiwa mdogo, lakini sasa venye nishakuwa mkubwa nilikuwa na pandi ya kuliko kuchora, nikaingia pandi ya sculptures. Na nikajipata hata sasa nimefika pale nimefika sasa hivi. Wale makastomers tunakuwa nao, kuna wazungu na pia kuna watu kama sisi weusi ambao wanapenda pia hii kazi, na watu wa mahoteli pia. Peleka wazile hizi bidhaa wanazipeleka kwa mahoteli. Pia hata wazungu wakija waona pia ile maendeleo tunayo hapa Kenya. Huyu tayari ashapakwa rangi.
So ni hivyo.
Ni hivyo. Ile rangi tumepaka juu ni clear, ndio asija kapata rust. Na pia tumemchoma ndio atoe hiyo rangi yake. Haya, tumili kama huyu sio huyu peke yake tunaye. Tuna wanyama wengine kama huyu pia. Huyu hata ukimwangalia venye huyu anakaa ni art pia.
Huyu ni kifaru.
Kifaru. Na huyu kifaru tumemuunda na tunaenda huko kwa Artistry, tunachukua slippers zile zishakatwa. Kisha tunakuja tunaunganisha, tunamtoa tunamchonga, tunamtoa tu hivyo hivyo. Pia hata kuna wengine pia kulingana na venye mtu ameamka, venye umeamka umefikiria, unamchonga pia. Unapata tumeunda, yani hali ya kati ya wanyama tunaunda yoyote yule. Yeah. Wakati ninapoamka, mimi huamka tu nikifikiria tu yoyote nitaunda tu, bora tu stock ijae. Na ndivyo kazi, hata ukiangalia kwa kazi utapata wanyama ni wengi ambao tunangojea wateja waje. Kwa mnyama kama huyu slippers tunaendaga upande wa Artistry. Pale slippers zinaundiwa, kuna waste mingi zinakuaga huko. Sasa tunanunua huko, kisha tunanunua gum, kuja sasa tuanza kushikanisha, kisha tuanza kuichonga chonga hadi itokee venye unavyoiona sasa hivi. Kwa mnyama kama huyu material slippers inaweza chukua kwa wiki moja hivi. Juu lazima uangalie gum yake ikiwa inashika vizuri. Pia unajua ni inachomwa na moto, iweze ishike vizuri, alafu sasa uanza kuikava. Ukiichonga vibaya itaharibu shape yake, tena itabidi tena urudie kubandika tena ndio umake shape yake vizuri. Mayouth venye naweza waambia, job kama hii ni job inado imejipa hiyo yenyewe, juu ambapo kwa wiki moja hivi huwezi kosa kuuza 2 ama 3. Na pia yani majukumu yetu chochote ninachohitaji napata kutoka kwa hii au wanyama. Na ni vizuri sana hata kwa wazazi waweza kuambia vijana sio lazima waende shule, waje tu kwa hizi za jua kali, watajifunza mengi kuhusu na jua kali. Mnyama kama huyu namuuza bei ya 15,000, yani bei ya kuongea. Na ningata venye umekuja, waweza kuja nikuangalia hivi nikuambia 8,000, lakini kuja vingine nakuuzia venye nimefikiria tu. Wakati natengeneza mnyama kama huyu, wakati wa kuuza muangalia time na material yenyewe venye nimepata huko Artistry. Naweza kuwa nimeenda nikapata ikiwa ghali kidogo, pengine nimeenda nimepata ikiwa cheap. Sasa hapo ndio price nina make. Vijana hata kama walianguka mitihani, advice yangu ni hii: kama ulikuwa na kipawa ya art, hata kama unataka kujifunza, unaweza kuja pia ushirikiane na sisi, tutafanya kazi ambapo utakuwa ukipata daily bread. Venye bado unajifunza tu hadi ujue. Ukijisikia ku repeat unaweza rudia, lakini kama utaki kuja jua kali pia. Kabla uwe fundi inategemea. Unajua unaweza kuwa mtu wa kushika haraka, maybe ukue huko, yani huko makini kwa hiyo kazi. Inategemea, ukiwa kwa makini sana ndio unashika haraka. Lakini kama itabidi sasa umekawia sana kitu kama muda wa miaka 2 hivi, lakini ukiwa mtu haraka miezi 6 tu. Hii kazi nimefanya tu Nairobi peke yake, Ngong Road. Kuna mahali pengine ninayo, ni hapa tu Ngong Road opposite Lenana School, na kampuni yenyewe inajiita Dalex Designers. Yeah. Ukitaka kutuhitaji unaweza kuja Ngong Road opposite Lenana nini stage. Tuko tu hapo, tajita Dalex Designers Furnitures and Workshop. Yeah.
Ndio maana namtrust kushinda Steve anipatie jobs. Nifanye kazi kwa bidii nipate Brown kushinda Chris. Nisikue man of steel. Yani mtu wa kuiba. Alinipa uwezo so nikapata uhuru ka Kenyatta. They say nothing comes on a silver platter.